Hey everybody, it's The Shape with another video. Now I know what you're... Stop typing. Oh, look at you. You're like on a roll this... Shut up. Shut your mouth. Now, Thinkerthunker. I've done a couple of videos on him in the past. I think he's entertaining, but some of the stuff he says blows my mind because it makes no sense whatsoever. And this one particular video that I saw, I felt like I was losing brain cells the whole time I was watching it. And if you know me from the past, you know, when you watch something that blatantly bad, you really do lose brain cells. Everybody that comes in contact with that video loses brain cells. Nothing that's said in it makes any sense. He trips over himself. He contradicts himself in another video after that because he got it wrong, of course, which we're going to dive into that as well. But anyway, it's good to see you guys. I appreciate what you do. Let's jump into this Thinkerthunker think tank.
Do you detect a little motion there in the trees? Okay, well, that is a full-grown tree being ripped side to side. Now, of course, I'm scrubbing back and forth just to show you the motion, but it is being ripped side to side just before it's ripped out of the ground. Now, it would take something like an F3 tornado to rip trees out of the ground. That's 165 miles per hour. And there's no tornado. It's a clear day.
Now, when you first see this video, I know what it is. I know right off the bat by seeing it move. It's one of those pieces of equipment that I'll put the name right here. I just can't remember the exact name, but they grab a hold of the tree and it's got a saw at the base of it. Saws the tree in a heartbeat. Picks the tree up and it turns 360 degrees where you can lay the trees down anywhere you want. And when he first sees this, the first thing that pops into his head is Bigfoot. Is grabbing hold of a base of a tree now and jerking it up out of the ground. I don't care how big Bigfoot is or how strong. There's not a creature that was and ever will be on this planet capable of grabbing a full-grown tree and uprooting it with a jerk. I don't care what they say. The physics makes no sense, the weight or anything. And being as Bigfoot is smart, we'll get to that in a second.
Now, look up at these trees. Those are mature trees in a very dense forest.
Raise your hand if you see the problem with what he said right here, just right out of the gate.
Oh, I got it, Shape. Oh!
Put your hand down. Makes you look completely ignorant. And everybody's looking at you and they're probably making fun of you. Now, he says it's a densely populated area, but let's get a good view of the entire terrain where these trees are. Let's see how densely populated it is, because I can see the ground through the canopy. As if there's a bunch of tree work going on there in that one specific spot. Huh, go figure. Oh, and by the way, you can see where the vehicles and stuff turn off the road and go up in this area as well. You can see the dirt. Let's take a look at this thick forest. Now look over here. That's thick, but look through here. You can see the ground and the dirt. You can even down here see where they pull in with this equipment. You can literally see the dirt. The trees are thin.
And if you think it's some sort of timber harvesting machine, they don't rip trees out of the ground. No matter the make, no matter the model, they all...
With the drone footage, you can't tell if it's being ripped out of the ground, but it does look like they're being ripped out. First off, Thinkerthunker, you're wrong there as well, of course. They're not ripping the tree out of the ground. It grabs a hold of the tree, saws it, and then lifts the tree up, leaving the stump. They do lift the whole tree, and you can carry them upright all the way around in circles all day long if you want to do that. And to say that as soon as they cut it, they drop it right there. No, they don't. They got a swivel. it can turn 360 degrees, and you can take it over here and lay it in a pile. Especially the fact you got two pieces of machinery working in the same spot, which they do because you can see two trees being moved that way. You can't just cut the tree and drop it. Well, that's done. I cut the tree right here. I'm going to drop it right there. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Watch right in here. You'll see something very large and very white move across right there. Well, the main action is happening over here in the trees.
They make different color. Tree trimming, tree cutting, anything. They make different colors. They make yellow. They make green. They make white. They make like ones with different colors. The grabber will be white or orange or red or gray, and the body will be a different color. They don't make them all the same color. How dare you interrupt me when I'm doing what I'm doing? And you're saying all the action's going on in that one spot? No, because there's more than one. There's action going on both spots. It could be a bobcat or any other kind of machine.
So, for one, they typically never have white harvesting machines. And two, you never see harvesting machines working side by side. That would be really dangerous. One could saw a tree and fall over and hit the other guy.
No, you're wrong. Once again, you're wrong. Multiple kinds of tree cutting equipment will work in the same spot because they know what they're doing, and accidents do happen, and they will happen. That just happens. I mean, freak accidents happen all the time, but for you to say that it's dumb, no. Once you're organized and you've worked with this other person, you know what you're doing. They can be two right side by side, and one can be laying them over here, the other's laying them over there. Another thing that makes no sense on what you say at all.
We'll see a tall-looking white right there, humanoid-looking shape, and I'm rocking back and forth, but it looks like this thing has latched onto a tree limb and is just tugging back and forth. And I'm wondering if that's not one of those new John Deere white humanoid robotic timber harvesting machines that we've all heard so much about.
Yes, guys, because, we know that a gigantic robot that chopping trees down, that's absurd. He even puts on there that it's not real because we're too young to realize that. But an abominable snowman grabbing a tree and bear hugging it, a tree now, and ripping it plumb out of the ground, although it's standing on the roots, and running with it. Now that is 100% believable in this particular situation. But the Transformer thing, man, that's just, woo! Nope, that's not real.
Now let's do a quick comparison. On the left, we have the tall, white humanoid shape, and on the right, we have an actual...
He's intentionally using this footage because it's got the tree laying down instead of it carrying the tree straight up in the air.
Okay, now comes the money shot. Right there, I'm rocking back and forth. We're seeing the tree getting ripped out of the ground.
From that far away, you can't tell if a tree's being ripped out of the ground.
Is it a tree beard? It starts walking off into the dense forest. And there it goes on its merry way.
There's something else he's trying to trick you into looking at. First off, it's not walking off. It's grabbed the tree. The thing is spinning because they spin 360 degrees. It's spinning toward the wooded area right here. And they're laying it over in there. You're talking like it uprooted it out of the ground and just took off running through the woods and just kept going.
Now, there is no commercial machine out there that cuts off a tree and carries it off into the forest with the tree still straight up in the air. It just doesn't happen. For one, the forest is too dense for some heavy machinery to just go driving right on through.
The forest isn't dense in that part. You can see the ground all the way around and all the way up through there and down north and south, west and east. You can see the ground. It's not dense. See, Oh man, this guy don't make no sense, man. I hate to be that way, but it don't make no sense.
Now, here comes the really amazing part. I zoom in. Okay, watch right here in the center. And as I slowly scrub forward, you'll see our tall, white, John Deere, humanoid, robot, or whatever it is, carrying the tree off into the trees. You don't see anything else around it. You don't see.
I can literally see the machine doing a 360-degree turn right there. I can't believe he can't see it. Look at it. You can see the machine right there. Plain as day. The only thing he sees is the white part, and he's not looking at the big green part. What are you talking about cranes? You know, some places that cut down trees, they don't have gigantic cranes. They don't need them. It's not necessary. I don't even understand where you're coming from on that part. Now, you're saying that thing is white that's grabbing hold of the tree. Well, that could be white because they painted it white so people can see it. Or it could be metallic and reflecting, the sunlight is reflecting off of it a bit and it just looks white. I mean, the image ain't that good to begin with.
Okay, remember this guy? Well, I'm going to drop a 3D relief on this real quick. There. Can you still see the machinery? Can you make it out from the trees surrounding it? Okay. Now,
you're going to love the examples that he's getting ready to use. Now, he showed you, oh, well, you can see the hard lines on this piece of equipment. Well, of course you can. It's close to the camera. It's better quality. And it's in front of the trees, not behind the trees. It's not being obscured by a tree. But, you know, it's not going to stop him. Oh, no, 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 no.
And I'm going to drop the 3D relief on that. Now, watch for hard edges. Watch to see if you see any machinery out there anywhere. There.
Great job. Great job, Thinkerthunker. Great job. What part of it's too far away from the camera and there's trees in between the piece of equipment and the camera do you not understand?
Or is it what it looks like? Is it a giant white humanoid with superhuman strength, strong enough to rip a 2,000-pound tree out of the ground and carry it off like it was nothing?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what is more likely? That it's a piece of machinery that is made to do that, or it's a super strong Sasquatch? Well, Pat, I would like to go with machinery.
Here is a quick update on my footage from last week, the big white humanoid ripping up trees, carrying them off. Now, here is the original clip I was sent, posted by the Weird Shelf on TikTok. All we get is this kind of little thumbnail of a video. Now, we tore through this. We all looked at this, and there was not a single sign of machinery in this. And there's a reason for that.
That's right. He made another video after that, but now he's saying there was no single sign of machinery, but you stated, and I'm going to play the clip, that there's no machinery that can do that. That's what you said.
Now, there is no commercial machine out there that cuts off a tree and carries it off into the forest with the tree still straight up in the air.
Yet now you're saying that, well, I could have been wrong. Which one is it? Is there no machinery that can do that you were sure of in the last video? Or is it that you were wrong like you are?
So in the next day, down in the comment of my video, somebody posted a link to this. And it's entitled Bigfoot, which explains why me searching for drone tree Tennessee turned up nothing. And it was posted by Stephanie C. And in her description, she says WTH. So Stephanie was selling this as the real deal.
Stephanie was selling this as the real deal. In your last video, you were selling it as the real deal.
As far as any sign of any any trucks, trailers, anything out there whatsoever, any smoke. Now we see the tree is getting hit.
Getting hit? I thought you said they were uprooted.
Signs of machinery. And there, I believe it's about to be ripped out. Yeah, now it's ripped out of the ground and it's doing the big walk off into the woods. As to why anybody with machinery would carry a tree off with it straight up in the air, I have no idea.
Now he's going back on what he said. Why would anybody leave the tree held up like that? Because maybe he didn't have room to lay it down just yet and he had to move it over a little bit there, Thinkerthunker. Did you ever think of that? And being as he does this for a living, maybe he knows what he's doing. You reckon? Maybe you just don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so that's about the end of the clip right there. Okay, so now I'm going to slow that down a little and play it back. Watch right out in here for any signs. Here we go. All right, let me zoom in and rock back a little. Okay, here we go. I'm going to scrub through slowly. Right there. Starts right there. We see this pop up, a little yellow there. And that's probably the best look of it we get. And then it goes through. It appears to be green. Making it really hard to see.
No, it's not really hard to see. You spotted a Sasquatch that far away with the drone camera. But, oh, well, it's green. It's harder to see. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Yep, there's the green that I pointed out earlier in the video.
So we get about 5 seconds. Now let's scrub back and forth. 5 seconds of machinery. And here comes the amazing part. The tree starts walking off.
Oh, you're talking about the machinery that you said didn't exist. That machinery. That's what we're talking about? Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I keep up and I stay on the same page with you because, hey, my brain don't operate as fast as yours.
But there's a really good reason why I didn't find that 5 seconds. And that's because the Weird Shelf TikTok guy cut it out for me. He hit it. He knew exactly what I was doing. He chopped out and started this video right after that 5 seconds.
But here's the part that grinds my gears more than anything else. Instead of saying I was wrong, I should have researched better for you guys. No. He edited it out. It was his fault. But the fact of the matter is, Thinkerthunker, you're the one that got fooled by it. You're the one that was wrong. No matter what was edited out. The fact of the matter is you said that was a humanoid uprooting a tree with its bare hands and carrying it off into the woods. That's what you said. So you shouldn't blame other people. You're the one that didn't do the proper research. That's your bad. I've made mistakes in the past, but I say, hey, my bad. I didn't research good enough. You guys deserve better. But nope, he's going to point out everybody else except numero uno.
And it's because the main problem with drones is even if we had seen a body out here, we would still only see it at a skewed angle, head and shoulders, bird's eye view only.
What are you talking about, a skewed angle? You was able to see a Sasquatch in that skewed angle. You was able to see a Sasquatch uprooting a tree and running off with it in the middle of the woods at that skewed angle. So what's wrong with the angle now?
But don't forget, there are pictures and stories and videos out of Alaska where people are finding mammoth-sized trees ripped out of the ground by the roots, flipped upside down, and driven back down into the ground. And the earth is pristine around them, where no heavy machinery has been around them.
Yeah, and human beings could have done that as well, Thinkerthunker. That's the part you're not talking about. Oh, no, well, no, they couldn't. We're smart when it comes to pulley systems and leverage and things like that. What I want to talk about is, You said Bigfoot uprooted a tree that is impossible. A T-Rex couldn't uproot a tree, not a fully grown one like that. I don't care what you say. I've seen people try to uproot stumps before, dead trees, and it ripped their whole rear end off their truck with the chain. I seen it snap chains. So to say any breathing creature could grab a hold of it and lift straight up, twist it a little and lift straight up and pull it out of the ground, no, that ain't happening. First off. Second off, let's talk about Bigfoot should be smart enough. Why would they carry the tree with all the weight up there? If anything we know about leverage, you would have to be a really good balancer, which would be hard being as it's a tree. It's got limbs that distribute the weight difference. And if you're carrying it like that, the wind as you're carrying it is going to be even harder. A Bigfoot, I would think, would drop the tree and maneuver it on its shoulder or whatever, or lean it back a little bit, whatever it had to do. I don't see a Bigfoot bouncing a fully grown tree and running off through the woods with it. It makes no sense. What's going to keep that tree canopy from hitting other tree canopies while he's running with it? Makes no sense.
I was so in hopes that this would be proof of that happening. It wouldn't. I think the lesson here for me is you cannot see what's been edited out.
I get that you hoped that was a Sasquatch. I really do. Because I know you believe they're out there. They're not, but I know you believe they are. But don't be biased, Thinkerthunker, when you go into anything like that. Because, I mean, you can lean more toward it because you believe in Bigfoot, but at least be open-minded enough to know what you're looking at. Obviously, that was machinery. I knew that the instant I saw it. There was no, well, that could be a Bigfoot uprooting the tree. It just, Now, as far as, I don't have anything against Thinkerthunker, except sometimes he says stuff that he's biased, and some of the stuff he says don't make sense whatsoever. I agree with him sometimes on some things. Not that Bigfoot is real. I don't agree with that at all. There's a reason that the best footage we have of Bigfoot is grainy Patterson-Gimlin film back in the late 60s. That's the best that we have. There's a reason for that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I love making these kind of videos. And I love you guys, of course. And I want to thank you guys for all you do. I appreciate you. And I'll see you. Gotta calm down. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.